Ken Beierbach. I live in Whitewood, Saskatchewan. I'm a cow-calf rancher there and also operate a ranch supply and tax store.
And you're also quite involved in in the industry in Saskatchewan. Tell us a little bit about your involvement there.
Okay, I sit on the SCA board. I'm the chair of the Environment Committee now. For the past couple of years I served as chair of the Animal Health Committee. Also sit on the Saskatchewan Stock Growers Board of Directors.
And when do you have time to run a ranch, run a store, run a family, and run all those other things?
Well, I guess if you're interested in something and committed to it, you work a little bit harder at it and make the time. And I've got a wife that helps out at home, and she gets a lot of the ranch work done when I'm going around to meetings.
Excellent. Tell me about your involvement. Tell me what you like about the Cattlemen Youth Leadership Program.
Well, probably the best thing, I guess, is all the people that I've got to meet, and you get a lot of information that I think will help me throughout the rest of my career in the cattle industry. Kind of learn more about decision making and kind of get a broader perspective of the industry, and probably are a little more open-minded to change and think ways of doing things that'll move things forward and make the ranch more successful.
Now you are a young rancher who started out a new ranch on their own. Are you finding other young people returning to the ranch and returning to the farm?
Well, there are. I think that when I moved to Eastern Saskatchewan 10 years ago, and when I moved there was a lot of people, young people my age, moving from Alberta and Western to Saskatchewan to Eastern Saskatchewan because land was less expensive and productive, and it looked like an opportunity to make it work. And all of us had to do something. Like BSE came along kind of in 2000, the next year, I guess, after I moved there. So I started the ranch supply and tax thing. It took some odd jobs, and a lot of my friends that came out there either got a job working for a farmer or in the oil patch, and so far that's kind of what they're still doing. I wouldn't say I see a lot of young people coming back yet. I think that with profitability in the cattle industry now, that there will be more, but I think that it's just getting to the point where there's money, and maybe it's a little easier to convince a banker that the business has a chance of being profitable and successful. Is
there anything that the industry could or others could do to encourage more young people to come back?
Well, I guess sitting on the boards that I sit on, the biggest thing that I see is there isn't any young people on the boards. Like I'm barely, I wouldn't say I'm in the startup stages. 10 years ago I was. And we need to get the people that are in those stages sitting on the boards that direct policy and lobby the government. And we can project what we think is best for people in that startup, or try to remember when we were there. But the industry changes all the time, so unless you've got them sitting at the table, you don't know what priorities there are. Like, I assume that lowering the risk would be a key thing, or making more cash available for loans would be good. But unless you've got the producer sitting there that's in that situation, it's hard to know which is the most effective policy to move their businesses forward.
Now, did you tell us about today's meeting? What was some of the big lessons or big items that are things you found most of interest in the discussion today with your peers and with the Elmo board?
Well, it was really good to meet all the people on the board. There's a huge diversity of knowledge there, and a lot of really successful people. So all of their opinions carry a lot of weight. And I guess the other thing, traceability seemed to be a real key thread that went through everything, and looked like an opportunity to use as an advantage in marketing Canadian beef. And yeah, I guess those were probably the key things that I got out of it.
Was the consumer trends topics, the Jeff Crowell from McDonald's, was there any takeaway on that sort of surprised you or anything?
Not really. I think that it's I've been to a lot of industry meetings, and it's well known that beef consumption in North America is going down, especially in Canada. We're a lower consumption per person than the U.S. I think that the keys will be the export markets and overseas markets where the consumption of meat's rising. I think that's kind of needs to be a focus, and we need to market high quality beef to them and realize there's a sector of their population that has the money to pay for it.
And your involvement with the as a honoree with CYL is coming to an end. The new ones are coming in. What advice would you have for the new honorees that are about to be elected or honored?
Well, it's definitely a great opportunity. I wish I would have got the chance to spend a little bit more time at it. That's the big thing, I think, is they need to devote as much time as they have to it. The more time you devote to it, the more you'll get out of it, and that's kind of where I maybe haven't had the chance to spend as much time as I'd like to, but I've still got a lot out of it, and I think that it's kind of an opportunity of a lifetime, so you got to make the time to do it.